Hey, this is Colin with Warhammer Station. I'm back and I've got some exciting news with the Warhammer app. It's out. I'm going to give you a little demo on it with, I downloaded an Android emulator. And so you can see on my channel firsthand how this thing works and just how neat it is. You know, this is in landscape, so pretend you're looking at it on a tablet or something, be vertical on your phone. But yeah, this thing is neat. It's a lot better. You know, they've changed the way um, stuff works in this app compared to the last ones. You know, it's basically a lot of the rules are different in a sense of how you build units and how you apply war gear to those units. So with that in mind, let me show you some of the features. Uh, yeah, this is the main screen. If you don't have anything built, your army list that you make will show up here. I'll show you that in a minute. Of course, they have the reference if they have a rule that you want to learn about or anything like that. You can find it just by searching. Obviously, the towering rule is in this uh, ruins terrain rule. That's kind of controversial at the moment. We can make a video on that here in a bit. But yeah, what you're mainly, I think you can also use this app if there's something you want to know what it does. You can type it in and get it real fast. What the rule is on here that you have a question for. So I don't think it's just a list building app. It's a really good, easy reference app that is going to be provide a lot of value to you when you're out there making your list or playing a game. Instead of referencing a card, maybe you forget some rule or how something works. You can go back and just really figure stuff out. Assault phase. Assault phase is always going to be what is it? A controversial thing, trying to figure out charge phase. Assault phase is old stuff. Like here, look, you can find out what fights first does. And I think in some cases you can even look at what some enhancements do. This is a demon, the Everstab, that the Zinch stuff can take. And so you could type in something real fast. Yeah, so enough of that. Let's build a list. Battle Forge over here. Plus sign, obviously. I'm like in World Leaders right now. They got everything in here that you could want. And under Space Marines is all their little factions, right? See, I like World Leaders. 2,000 points. You know, I'm almost thinking after building several lists that might bump up to 3,000. But there's no reason you can't build like a 2,500 point list in here also. So Berserker Warband is the default army list for them. And we want to build a list that has a lot of models in it and can utilize the Lord Invocatus scout move. So let's add him just right off the bat, because we know that's what we're going to see, you know. And I think the World Leader is Master of Executions. You can add him just as a basic starting point. Battle line, obviously these are going to be your Jackals and Berserkers. I want to add Berserkers because we know we're going to have some of those. You know, if you know you're going to take more than one troop, what I like to do is configure one unit and then duplicate it. It makes it a little bit easier when selecting war gear options. So it breaks out with the champion. Remember, the champion can take a plasma pistol, or he can be the one equipped with the icon of corn here if you want. You got to be real specific in what you're doing. It doesn't bother me. I just like to do this. What we're looking at here, while we have an exclamation, is we need a warlord. Well, let's go do that right fast. Let's go back here. And Invocatus is going to be the warlord. And that's just, I don't think it does anything. There's no warlord traits anymore. It just, you have to have a designation there. So on our berserkers, we want a full, you can only take 5 or 10 man squads. And when they do, they got to take the different weapons that match what it is. So when we're gearing it out, obviously you can buy all the war gear in the unit. You don't have to buy the war gear individually that adds points. So we're going to take the coordinated eviscerators. You got to read here careful. For every 5 models in this unit, 1 corner berserker chain blade can replace with 1 coordinated eviscerator. So for every 1 that we increase this by, we have to decrease the chain blades by 2. So now we got the green check mark. We're good to go. Obviously, we're going to run this with an icon of corn. I think probably more rationally, we'd want to run these guys with the plasma pistols, being that they're included. But I don't want to lose my guys to rolling 1 on a hazardous roll. So here, it's 230 points. Skip back here, and we have the unit. And I know I want to take 2 units of this guy, so there we go. Look at this. Duplicate. And let's see what else here can we take. Other data sheets. All the Whirler stuff. There's not much, but it's all really good, I think. I'm going to start with an 8-bound and an exalted 8-bound. This is an infantry list, like I said. I don't know how these are going to do in 8th edition, or I'm sorry, 10th edition, but we're going to see. So remember, up in the war gear, and we got a good checkbox. I know 9th edition was real heavy with these 8-bound guys. I still think they're going to be doing good if you can use the right tactics with them. And I want to take 2 units of each. Duplicate. And duplicate. Oh, too many points. So let's take an exalted 8-bound off, delete. And I know when I put this list together, I want to take another HQ. The Lord on the Juggernaut. Still got some left. Let's take another Master. Nope. I want to see what a Rhino takes there. Nope. Too many points in the Rhino. Let's take him off. Nope, not duplicate. Delete. Delete. Still got, what is that, 105 points left to go. So let's add Jackals. We got to kit them out all the way. And it's really just this Dishonored, I think, who we want to take a Skull Smasher. And obviously they need to have an icon. And the last thing we want is an enhancement for our HQ. And we can pretty much take any of them. I want to take the Battle Lust. I think that's pretty much it. It's not 100% infantry, but we got 2 exalted 8-bounds that can either deep strike or move up from Lord Immincatus' rules, and we can deep strike this 8-bound. So what we run into is you click these, and you're like, I forgot the rules for this or exactly how it works. We can click on abilities here. And you see they have scouts, faction, and what their beacons does. So these guys are automatically getting that pregame move of 6-inch. And the 8-bound don't have that. Abilities. Just feel no pain and deep strike. So maybe, but the whole point of this list hinges around Lord Immincatus And his ability, Road of the 8 Bloody Steps. 2 units, 2 friendly World Leaders infantry units. That word is key, so you're not moving your Land Raiders up early, or your Corn Lord of Skulls, or your Demon Princes. It's just infantry units. And so that's what's given that pregame move for that Exalted 8-bound. And it's going to put some pressure on the opponent before the game even starts, right? So this is a list I would really gamble on going first. But yeah, this is all the features. You can go look and see what the melee weapons do, range weapons, any ability that this thing can have. You can go reference this really easy. I feel like it's a little bit easier than the past iterations of these apps or something like that, of having to really get down nitty gritty on the war gear, stuff like that. But yeah, seeing all the stats, just clicking real easy on a ranged weapon and whatnot makes it. And hey, look, there's a lore button. Kind of in the way on that one. I'm sorry, but can't scroll up. One of the last features of taking care of a list is you have an export button right here. And if you click it again, it copies it to the clipboard. So you can go like share with your friends in a text message what the list is. And, you know, it does it pretty decent. It tells you how many points there is. It makes it really easy to discern what's in the list, what word do they have, how many models are in a unit. And it's just way simplified compared to what's has been available in the past for list building. You know, I've already spent hours and hours and hours on this app, I feel like, making several. I have like 3 or 4 different war leaders lists, and lists for every faction I can think of that I even have an interest in running here. We'll do another one. You know, I play Chaos mostly. Strike Force, Dynamic Incursions, Red Lords, Great Army. You know, I think every Demons list is going to have Bellicor. I want to run a Bloodthirster, Changecaster. That's one thing with Demons, is it's going to be really character heavy. What else we got here? Fate Weaver's cool. I want the Lord of Change for his ability. Look, almost 1,000 points in characters. That's kind of crazy. More than that, because I want to run Juggernauts. Do the Skull Smasher. Skull Master. Skull Master. There we go. Bellicor is going to be the Warlord. And now we got to have all this stuff to add stuff to. Bloodletters, might switch those in. I want 2 units of Pink Horrors. Remember, when you're doing demons, they have war gear. You need to add demonic icons and instruments to everything. See, just how, you know, I went ahead and added these. Pink Horrors, 2 of them. Now they got a lot of little options in here, so I got to scroll through both of these just to add this instruments and icons. I think that's all I want to run there. Obviously, Blood Crushers. Let's do 2 units of Flamers because they're real good. And I think that's it. I like the Flamers because they have just a lot of wounds. Nope. And that's one thing. It lets you add more than you have. So you can run into a situation where your list isn't checking off all the boxes, but it's still giving you another thing is this will tell you how to build the unit, right? Pyrocaster Flamer is the count 65 points for 3 models. And if you have more than 3 models, it just automatically goes up to 130 points. So you can have a flamer unit with 4 models in it, but you're still paying full points for that many models. So it gets kind of, there's a disparity there that makes it kind of wild. Let's see, Juggernauts. I can't wait to play these guys. Instrument. Oh, and the last thing we need for this list is on the Lord of Change to have Everstate. So yeah, that's my demons list. I don't know how good it'll be. Obviously, it's susceptible to a bunch of character nonsense that could happen to it, but I think it'd be effective. You know, here's why. Is Bellacor's ability. Clicking through here to see, and it's this shadow form abilities that he can pull off. Demon units within 6 inches can only be targeted by a ranged attack if the attack at models within 18 inches. So, you know, there's a lot of variations on these demons lists. There's people who have a lot of opinions about what's effective and what's not. Obviously, that ability is going to be effective, but it's a lot of fun. I shouldn't have clicked off on that. Look, ranged attacks, you got all your psychic stuff, melee weapons, keywords. Remember, Be'lakor doesn't have like a Khorne or Nurgle or any. He doesn't have all the keywords anymore, so he's not joining your World Eaters army. He's not joining this or that. He can, I think, he can join the Space Marines. That's one thing you can see in here is when you go to add some of these other armies, there's some stuff that's not 100%, like Chaos Knights. If you want to do your Chaos Knights army with, maybe you want some demons in there, they're not available yet. It's just your character, which is your big knights, and your battle line. Let's say in my World Eaters army, if I want to have something else for my allied units, I can just pick them here, be it demons or knights, right? And so these are also true for the loyalists. Remember, they have, let's do a Space Marine army right fast. We're just going to do generics to not complicate things. They have all their allied units, which they can bring assassins, knights, and all the other things that we saw in there in that index of inquisitors, and just all these little add-on units. There's more than you'd think. More, you know. Canis has a lot of demon options, but you know, this Subductor Squad, Road Traeger Entourage, really neat that they can take this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the space. That's the Battleforge app. It's really nice. It's the Cadillac of these apps. One of the best ones that they've made ever, and a lot of good features to it. And it's not just a list builder; it's a good reference. I think at tournaments at TOs, they're going to be tapping on this thing to get really quick reference to rules to show people. It's not 100% perfect. You know, there's some errors. Callous Knight should be able to take demon allies. Maybe there's something, you know, we're not seeing, and then like that's going to be fact or something, so that we don't see that stuff. But, you know, there's some other stuff here and there. I haven't seen that much off the top of my head as far as errors go. And, you know, I think we all have that universal criticism of we want to take like 5-man units instead of 6-man units, or 8 or 9-man units to fit a character or two in a drop pod, and the units that are capable of doing that. But yeah, that's the app. Thanks for taking a look at it. Thanks for watching. And had a lot of fun making these videos. We've got stuff coming out. I'm going to have on my website, warhammerstation.com, we're going to have Battle Shock tokens that you can purchase. This is a gratuitous size. We've got a couple of different styles of like a medium size, all the way to just stuff that's inobtrusive on the board, right? And like I said, a couple of different styles, so you can have what you want as far as these little tokens go. And I think they're cost effective. We're also working on wound tokens and terrain coming out. And I'll put a link in the description, warhammerstation.com we're working on making some of the best products out there for 40K. It's going to be a lot of fun. Engage in the community. We got Discord, working on some other avenues there for things. Join us out there. Discuss, engage. Let's have some fun. Let's play some games. I'm going to Lone Star Open, and we can see you there. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. I appreciate everything.